Hey, my candy cane. How goes
Oh,
it?
hello, Miss Jen. How are you tonight?
I am well. How are you?
You know, I'm breathing kind of a little sigh of relief because there is a disturbance that is out in the Gulf, and it's
Mhm.
supposed to be like, I hate to say this because I don't want it to hit anybody, but it's not supposed to hit us. Like, well, the remnants are, you're going to be on the very outer bands because it
Yeah.
actually turns towards Tennessee and Nashville and goes up towards Wisconsin and Michigan. So you're just going to be getting a little, you're going to be getting less than I'm going to get, I think. But for anybody that is in the path of what will be a hurricane, it could be kind of strong. I feel for you. And so,
Yeah. For the people
but
that are really going to get it, like hurricanes at this point. I survived two go. I'm good.
yeah, yeah. I still, all that wind
I
and
do pray for the
water.
people that are stuck in it because it's scary, especially when you're in the coastal regions. Like how quickly things can flood.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, so if y'all are in that area, please stay safe, be
Yes.
careful.
Yes. Exactly.
Um,
So how's your week going?
Pretty good. It was really humid today, but that was my biggest complaint for this week so far. How about yours?
Mine, mine's going okay. I wish when you went to doctors and had tests done that they would be
Yeah.
quick to give you results, and they're not. And so that would be one of my complaints. But what you gonna do? There's not much you can do about it. Although
Nope.
I'll withhold payment until I find something out.
Tell me what's going on, and you get your money, honey.
Exactly, exactly. But
um, I was gonna
so
say, how's he feeling?
he's okay.
Okay,
I mean, I think right now we're just like you
you're waiting.
anticipation of results, and that's hard sometimes. So, but we'll find out, and hopefully all will be okay. If not, we'll deal with whatever it is.
Yep, we will. Including me in that we, by the way.
Of course, you're my sister.
Exactly, you're mine.
Exactly. But it
Um,
was kind of a big sports weekend.
it was a huge sports weekend.
A lot
Lots of
happened.
upsets,
A lot
crazy
of
officiating.
surprises. A lot like a surprise blowouts. Like I wasn't expecting some of the blowouts.
Whoever thought GMU would outperform UNC like that?
I know.
Like I mean, they prepared. I feel like they prepared since last season for this game or when it was announced. Like that was their Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Oh
And
yeah.
Matt Brown was so upset afterwards. He asked the kids, and I'm very conflicted on this. I'm not going to lie. If they wanted him to retire, if he just didn't have it anymore. And so I feel like that was a guilt trip kind of on the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when your mom would or your dad would be like, when you were little, well, I mean, just to kind of that reverse psychology, I feel like that's what it was.
Yeah.
Like when
Yeah.
I heard that, I was like, "Oh, he's not retiring without a championship. Like that's what he wants. He'll die
Mhm.
before he retires without the championship. But he needed to know his players were bought in too. So I get that. But I don't know. But yeah, like I mean, hats off to JMU. I can't complain. It was a solid win. Solid win. Carolina let the ball get away from them. They didn't show up until the second half. But who would have ever thought 120 points in a college football game?
Not
College.
me.
My
Not
coworkers
me.
were like, JMU? Who's JMU? I was like, exactly. It is the school I really wanted to go to, though. But exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, what did you witness this weekend?
So we made the trek over to USF, which is South University of South Florida. It's in Tampa, and they were hosting the Miami Hurricanes. So it's kind of an in-state rivalry, but not like it's not a big rivalry, although it's becoming, I guess, a little bit more of one.
Mhm.
Anytime you play somebody in-state, it's kind of a rivalry, I think.
Sure.
Um, it was a tale of two halves. So the
Mhm.
first half was completely competitive. And when I say completely competitive, I mean, the score at halftime was 22-15.
Mm-hmm.
And then Miami shut them out the whole second half and put up 50 spot total. So it was 50-15, the end score. But like I said, it was a tale of two halves because the first half they went back and forth, seesaw. Both were doing well. Although I will say, and I think I've seen this in a lot of games, a ton of penalties. Like in a lot of, I mean, in this game alone, it was 22 penalties between the two teams for almost 200 yards worth of penalties. It was crazy. And then we saw a lot of injuries. And I don't know if it was just cramping injuries or what, but the game took forever. I mean, it started at 7, and I don't think we were done till almost like 11 or 11:30.
Oh
It was
gosh.
crazy. And then I think so. I'm on a mission, and I'm like, okay, I got to lose a little weight. I need a little more exercise. So I'm down on the field, and some games I'll sit down on the end zone, and I'm like, no, I'm going to stand this whole game. And then it was one of the longest games. I'm like, are you kidding me? My feet, like at the end of the game, like, oh, I'm so tired. Me. But
sorry, I'm just sharing this to a few places.
No, that's fine. So Miami's 4-0, and they start conference play this week. We actually play Friday night. We will be there.
Yay!
They are playing Virginia Tech. So
when?
Friday night.
Tech.
Virginia Tech, and it's 7:30. It's Friday night.
Because, so I don't know if I ever told you this or not, Candy, but Alton's roommate who lived next door to me before we were married went to Tech. So on game days, you've been around Tech fans, right? And alums, you know, they're perfectly sane during the work week, but that football game comes on, no sanity exists for about 5 miles around. He used to bump his pre-game music so loud. I had a piece of artwork it was a townhouse. I had a piece of artwork on our shared wall, and it fell down. I would fall down. I'd be like, Kenny, you're going to have to buy me a new frame after football season. But yeah, it's been crazy. Now, what were you at the Jags game last night?
We were not. That was crazy, though. 47-10.
Buffalo's been beaten up on South Florida lately.
Well, Buffalo's not a bad team.
No, they're pretty solid. However, I have to give props to the Eagles. Thank you for beating the Saints, because I really hate the Saints. Really hate the Saints. Hats off to the Chiefs, because I'm not gonna lie, I know my man Lance Helms is a huge Falcons fan, but there was some kind of egregious calls against the Chiefs. There were some missed calls, but some of the calls were very iffy, and honestly seemed to me like they were trying to make up for missed calls with some of them. I don't know if you watched the game or not, but I was like I was texting with Carrie, and it was like, that did seem right. So,
but there were a lot of close games, because like that one was fairly close. The Rams beat the 49ers 27-24. Who would have thought that?
Well, the 49ers are without Debo, Christian, Brock. Who else? I forgot.
That's a lot.
I mean, that's a lot.
Ravens,
I mean, honestly, they're only like not even a full quarter into the season yet. So, and I think Christian's supposed to be back week 5. I think he was supposed to be out for 4 weeks. So I think he's coming back week 5.
Are you sure? Because didn't he go overseas?
To Germany?
Yeah, to try and see if he can get some different treatment.
So here's my question. Why don't they just send this poor man to a freaking chiropractor? Because if his back's aligned, he's not going to get the hamstring injuries and the Achilles tendon issues that he's getting. Because I'm pretty sure for a first class flight to Germany from San Fran, you can get on a get a couple of chiropractic visits in.
Probably. And how about those Ravens beating Megan's Cowboys?
Who would have thought the Cowboys were stinking it up so bad this year?
You know,
I truly did not see that coming. It's like Dak gets paid, and I know Dak's not the greatest quarterback ever, by the way. So I'm not doing this with rose-colored glasses.
mm-hmm.
But who would have thought? No.
Well, part of their problem is their running game.
Yeah.
If
Because
Zach
Debo
is,
and Christian are out.
Zach is attempting to throw 51 times, that's
Yeah.
way too much. I mean, if you look at it, Lamar Jackson was 12 of 15. Dak was 28 of 51. Derrick Henry for Baltimore had 151 yards rushing, and Rico only had 32. Like, you have to be more balanced. If you're not balanced, you're not winning games because they'll figure you out.
Did David Tepper and Jerry Jones exchange bodies?
No idea. The Dolphins got swamped. I mean, but
yeah, that's 2 weeks in a row. Okay, I am well aware of the hypocrisy here, just so you know. But I love the meme that is going around that's about the Dolphins is the only team in the NFL for not having a winning second in a game. Like, what's going on down there?
You know, these teams play astronomical amounts for their first string quarterbacks, and their first string quarterbacks go out. The depth behind them is not there. And Skylar Thompson went out too.
I'm pretty sure it's been the Dolphins calling Dan Morgan. I'm just saying.
It's just crazy. Like, yeah. I don't know. Indy beating the Bears. I mean, who would have, 21 to 6.
I would have called that. Jacob would have called that. Most Bears fans would have called that. Because Caleb talks too much and doesn't play enough.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like, yeah, no.
Giants beating the Browns 21-15. Did you see that one coming?
Yeah, no. Not at all, actually. Nor did I see the Commanders beating the Bengals as solidly as they did. But hats off, QB Daniels. Great rookie year, my friend. Great rookie year so far. People are already trying to get him the Rookie Player of the Year award. So, and then
what about the Broncos beating Tampa Bay in Tampa Bay? My boss,
Jordan was going to be.
Boss is a Broncos fan, so he went to see the game. So he was happy.
I have been telling Jordan, and I hate the Saints and I hate the Falcons. I have been telling Jordan that he needs to trust Sean Payton. I'm like, do you understand how many Super Bowls, how many playoff appearances he has made? Like, I hate him because of the whole Bounty Gate thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I will give him this. When Christian McCaffrey was still with us, last home game of the season, and like they were already winning, but Sean Payton was like, "Hey guys, I don't know what happened." You could tell. I think Sean Payton told the players to loosen up, to let Christian get in the 1,000 club, because that was pretty remarkable to see. Yeah. So, yeah, I guess he can't be all bad, but there's like a brotherhood within the entirety of the NFL.
I hear you. Who would have thought the Vikings, Sam Darnold would go in and the Vikings would dismantle Houston like they did?
That I did not see coming, but I will say, and I think you know this, Candy, I've always been a low-key Sam Darnold fan. I think he was just always with the wrong team. When he was with Matt Toll, He, I mean, obviously, Roll did see something in him. So I'll give him props to that, but he didn't know how to coach. So yeah, like I'm
and
happy for Sam.
I
Hmm?
hate to say it because my Packers play the Vikings this week. So I'm kind of, I mean, the Vikings are really good football.
Right.
And we still don't know. Like, I love the fact that Malik Willis got to come in and he got to revenge against his team that
Yes.
traded him. That was cool.
Yeah.
We don't know who's going to be quarterback come Sunday. We don't know if Love will be back or not. But there was sad news for those of you that were Packer fans in a while ago. I don't know if Jen you heard, but there is news that Brett Favre came out and said he has Parkinson's, which is really sad. Whether you are a fan of him after football or not is different. When
But he's
he
still
played,
human.
he's still human. He played. He played. He was a great quarterback. I mean, he was a gunslinger.
Especially, well, mainly for you guys.
He was right, and he took chances and stuff like that. And you hate to see anybody end up with Parkinson's. It's not a
Yeah.
nice
It's
disease.
not a nice disease. Nope. It's not. Sorry.
You
So,
know, you're,
any other football games you want to bring up?
let's see. The Lions beat the Cardinals.
That's not surprising.
Mm, it was
That's
pretty close. It was 20-13, so like it was kind of close. So you
closer
know,
than that's closer. I mean, I don't know. I don't put a lot of credit in the Cardinals. But what's up with
Justin
Ben
Fields.
Johnson, right? Is the OC for
Yeah.
the Lions?
Yep.
What's up with him trying to change the offensive play calling? Because in all honesty, like what they had going was working. He needs to go back.
Well, and did you hear what happened to Coach? Coach is
Uh-uh.
moving. Coach is moving.
Oh
And
yeah, because
you're
people figured out where he lived.
Oh no. It wasn't people. It was one of his daughter's friends from high school that posted their address on a social media website. And
Why?
yes, I have no idea, but that's what I heard. And I'm like, are you kidding me? People don't understand like the ramifications of some of these things. And so now they're selling the house and they're going to move. Like I don't know where they're going to exactly, but that's just crazy. I'm like, who does that? I'm like, I
Right.
read that earlier and I'm like, are you kidding me? Someone posted it on a social media.
Did they do it by accident or were they
I
just
think,
being asinine?
I think they put it on. I thought I heard, let me see. Classmate of Detroit Lions head coach Dan Campbell's daughter reposted the family's home address on social media following the team's January playoff loss. Let's see. Does it say? It's just that people figured out where we live when we lost. When they were doing good, they left them alone. But when they lose, you know how fans get. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, I don't know.
That's ridiculous.
It was on Snapchat. Campbell's address and an explicative about the coach were posted on Snapchat and shared by his daughter's classmates. So sad, sad, sad.
That's pathetic. Yeah. I wonder if the friend got money for it.
Yeah, probably. I mean,
Um, no. So today I did something interesting.
okay.
I
Yes.
was on, and you know about this. So I was on the NASCAR Xfinity playoffs Zoom calls. I'm gonna write a little bit about it from a buddy, Fago, so thank you, Fago. I only got a couple of questions in because I was at work, so I couldn't really talk. But Austin Hill does not have a lot of fans. He is a very polarizing individual. And yeah, but it's funny because his teammates love him. At times they love to hate him, but overall they were also like he is one of the most sincere guys we know.
Mm-hmm.
Which was nice. And they're like, he just wants to better himself and the people around him. So that's nice to hear.
Yep.
But I don't know. Like, it was like, why is everybody so on him? But I was loving it that one of the guys, I can't remember who, I literally listened to like 5.5 hours of, um, okay, sorry.
That's okay.
Um, I can't remember his name. But anyway, Kyle Busch is his unofficial mentor, which I love because I like Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
But there's like, because the Xfinity playoff series start. So I'm trying to get media credentials for the Roval here in Charlotte. So if anybody knows, I had the email addresses at one point and I can't find them for who to contact. So if anybody knows, please let me know. And then also, how about them Panthers?
How about those Panthers?
That so that was football that I remember from 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I did kind of feel bad for Raiders fans, and I did kind of, and I feel like we let off the gas, so it would be so bad on paper for the Raiders. But
Mm-hmm.
I have literally gone on this show, on other people's podcasts, saying we have the talent. There's something there. Oh, a lot of people in Charlotte are talking about trying to bench Bryce. Well, I'm saying no. I mean, I'm saying yes. I'm trying to trade Bryce. Yes to the benching, no to the trading, because after last year, and Katie, I shared this with all the ladies, including you, that athletic article when it's at the Hunger Games of the Carolina Panthers,
Mm-hmm.
when reportedly, and according to this article, um, David Tepper had other coaches texting him whatever Frank Reich was doing. Bryce had at minimum 4 coaches in his ear telling him what to do. There was no fluidity in the offensive scheme. I think there was only one coach who is still with the Carolina Panthers from last year. Pretty sure he avoided that. That's my assumption, but that was my assumption last year when I read the article anyway,
Mm-hmm.
because he doesn't strike me as that gossipy Magoo guy. So, but like everybody else was trying to get that HC job, right? So why not follow along with what Tepper said? And guess what? You still didn't get it. And you unemployed. Just saying.
Mm-hmm. Just
But just saying. Andy Dalton is the first play NFL quarterback this season to have over 300 passing yards. And a couple of other stats. Sorry, I took some cold medicine, so sorry, I forgot the other stats. But I
That's
mean,
okay.
good job, Andy. Like, honestly, he did an amazing job, and we needed that win, not just for the win column, but that boost for our players. For like
Oh yeah.
my man, and his girl Brittany, Taylor Moton. Like, he needed that boost. Taylor has literally stayed so loyal, and he's still in the top 5 guards in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I have literally only seen him trip once on the field, and that was 2 weeks ago against the Saints when he sacked Bryce. Like, that was just a freaking comedy of errors, man. But then he also went and did, but last year when we were in Baltimore, somebody got Baker. And I looked it up and I go, Baker made him mad. Sorry for yelling. It's
That's
like, what did
okay.
Baker do? But, or that was 2 years ago. I'm sorry. We've had so many quarterbacks. But I was
I'm
really happy for everybody. Coach Canales received the game ball, which is fitting because he had to make a really tough decision. But that's what Bryce needs. He needs to sit down. He needs to get his mental health back in check.
yep.
Because if I were Bryce, I wouldn't trust my O line after last year either. Really,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't. And
Right.
I go back to Cam didn't trust Kelvin Benjamin anymore after because Kelvin's ineptitude of catching a ball or trying to block for Cam after Cam caught the dang ball again. Then he went down and his shoulder got jacked. Like, I understand not trusting people. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't know. But I'm happy Bryce is sitting.
Yep.
only for his mental well-being and for him to get back in check because I want this kid to succeed. I don't think the Panthers are where he's going to succeed because we're not
Quarterback
built
developing.
for him. Yeah. Like
Mhm.
our team is built around your Cams, your Andys, you know, even your Bakers. Like Baker Mayfield would fit into this game, obviously, since Canales was his coach last year. But
Mhm.
and people forget, and then we're gonna go because I know you have your show, and I will be going on another show as well. But my last thing is I forgot my last thing. I'm candy. I shouldn't have taken cough medicine before I came on here. It was non-drowsy, I swear. But
It's okay.
I was just really happy for the players, for myself. Like I didn't expect that butt whooping.
Yeah.
And I think on the Raider side, rightfully so, they came in too cocky. That's
Mhm.
what happens when you come in too cocky. I don't care who you are. Seen it on my team, seen it on other teams, but I think that's what it was at the end. But even that goes back to officiating because in the Raiders opening drive, so we scored a touchdown on our opening drive, right?
Mhm.
Then the Raiders were trying to. The first down that was given shouldn't have been given because his foot was outside.
Oops.
And yeah, I mean, honestly, like I felt like the NFL, not the NFL, but I feel like some of the refs were trying to help out the Falcons and the Raiders a little bit, and then they were just like, "Oh, screw it," with the Panthers. They were like, "The Panthers deserve a win."
Yes. They did.
But, all right, you get to your show on South Florida Tribune, and you guys come check me out. Also, I'll be on Willie Epstein's podcast tonight, talking a little Raiders Panthers football.
Awesome. Have a great week, everybody.
Yes, hit us up in 7, and we do have some surprises coming up in the near future. Okay, talk to you later.
Bye, everybody.